So Andrew, we know that competition is undoubtedly a major part of what goes on in our world today, because we have all sorts of things like social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all these different things in which a lot of people are doing a big look at me type of scenario. Look at me on vacation, look at me with a nice car, big houses, in the swimming pool, whatever it may be. But we also understand that competition can also be a good thing, right? That's not a big deal. We have competition in sports, we have competition in politics, we have competition in capitalism. And a lot of times that can spur on ingenuity that we actually can benefit from in society. But Andrew, what I would like to discuss in our short educational video today is the negative side of competition, in which everyone is just trying to outdo the other person and in essence keeping up with the Joneses. So stay locked into this video. It's going to be very important that you understand that you do not want to fall victim to this particular notion. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, President and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. And the reason we've created these educational videos is to help to make the difficult and confusing retirement process simple.
Absolutely, Andrew. And we do this simply by incorporating a team of strategic partners ranging from certified financial analysts, certified financial planners, estate attorneys, insurance advisors, and other needed professionals to help us build a comprehensive and holistic roadmap that's going to let our clients know when, where, and how they can reach their retirement goals.
For specialized strategies on how to maximize your retirement income, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos.
So Andrew, as we're talking about this subject matter today, it's really important to me because I see this far too often. There is a very dangerous positive correlation between how much money we make and how our expenses follow that. Now, a lot of times when you have things moving in the exact same direction, Andrew, we call that a positive correlation. But in reality, when it comes to your money and your expenses trying to keep up with those dollars, it's really a negative correlation to your overall financial well-being. And Andrew, many studies do show that the reason why people go out and they spend money the way they do is because it makes them feel happier in how people think about them as it relates to them having money. So people go out and buy things that they simply just don't need or can't afford. And Andrew, you know that many times, I've seen this, you probably have seen this when it comes to your friends, your family, your neighbor. You may see them buy a boat, they get a bigger house, you see them on a nice vacation. And what you immediately try to do is to try to one-up them. You try to go out and do the exact same thing, but bigger. And that is the essence of trying to keep up with the Joneses. And what we're trying to talk with you about today is you want to make sure you avoid that trap in life, because what we have come to know, especially in my business over the years, Andrew, is that perception is often not even close to reality. I say that because there have been many times, Andrew, I would go up to a client's home that may look very modest. It's not a mansion. They don't have a lot of fancy cars in the driveway. And when I sit down to speak with them, they may have over $1 million inside of their retirement portfolio. And on the flip side of that, I may drive up to an enormous home. They have fancy cars. And when I sit down and speak with these individuals, much to my surprise, I would see their financials in shambles. Second mortgages, cars repossessed, poor credit scores, all these different things, because they are literally buying things that they simply just can't afford. So we're going to talk about how you should be avoiding that aspect of your life today, because there is a huge problem when you're talking about your lifestyle inflation versus your wealth creation. And we want to make sure we keep those things in the proper balance. But before we get into that, there are 2 rules to retirement income that we always want to point out to you. And Andrew, what are those 2 rules?
Well, rule number 1 is to never run out of money. And rule number 2 is to never forget rule number 1.
So now let's go ahead and discuss some of the pitfalls that could actually happen to you when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses.
So Carson, I'm really glad that you're talking about this because a lot of people do try to keep up with the Joneses. Yeah. And this is really important for people to know that they don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But I know that you have a list of about 20 topics about the pitfalls of keeping up with the Joneses, but there's 4 that I highlighted that I would like for you to discuss with the viewers out there.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay. So the first topic that I found was from your list was that there's a lot of fake friends out there. So a lot of times we try to become like those friends because we think that we want what they have. So could you talk about that?
Absolutely, Andrea. And I'm really glad that you picked that one because quite frankly, when people are trying to keep up with the Joneses, that's one of the main reasons that they're trying to do it. They're trying to impress others. And when you're trying to impress others, you're doing things that are really out of your scope a lot of times to attract those types of friends. But the truth of the matter is, Andrew, many times, gathering fake friends is not really what you need in your life. No one needs fake friends because when that money is gone, and I'm sure many people out there can relate to this, when that money is gone and you don't have that fame and fortune that you once had, that they were tagging on to, you're not buying, you're not paying for the bar tab anymore, then a lot of those fake friends will end up dissipating from your life. Real friends, Andrea, will stick by your side no matter what is going on through thick and thin. And so that is really what you're looking for. So keeping up with the Joneses and trying to attract fake friends in your life will never end in a healthy manner for you.
Well, thanks for talking about that because a lot of people really needed to hear that. So, but next on the list that I have here is buying things that you don't need. A lot of people do this.
Absolutely, Andrew. That's another good one that you chose there because what she's really trying to say is that people buy things that are actually a depreciating asset. And that can be a huge detriment to your financial solvency. So people buy things like cars and clothes and jewelry, things of that nature that they really, really just can't afford. As a matter of fact, most studies show that when you buy an expensive car, the minute you pull it off the lot, Andrew, it goes down about 15 to 20%. So that's a horrible investment in and of itself. Just imagine this scenario that if you were to take, let's say it was a $50,000 car, and imagine if you were able to take that $50,000 and place it in some investment that was able to earn about 6%. In a matter of 20 years, Andrew, that $50,000 will be worth over $160,000 for your retirement well-being. So it goes without saying that when people are trying to keep up with the Joneses and buying depreciating assets, it's not going to end up in their favor.
Well, Carson, that was a very interesting take on keeping up with the Joneses. But next is a big one for a lot of people. It's credit card debt. Now, I know that in college I had some debt, and of course we have to get rid of that debt because you don't want that hanging around. So could you talk more about that?
Yeah, one of the I would say probably, Andrew, one of the most pernicious aspects of trying to keep up with the Joneses is putting things on credit cards. Now, you mentioned that when you were in college, you accumulated some credit card debts. And then, as I mentioned, many people out there watching, of course, have done that as well. But Andrea, the good book says it like this. When I was a child, I thought as a child. But when I became an adult, I put away childish things. So although we may have accumulated some debt, Andrew, when we were actually in our teens and in college, when we're in our 30s and 40s and 50s, we should not continue this same pathway in our lives. We should not continue it. So when you're talking about keeping up with the Joneses, a lot of times people are putting those things on the credit cards, and now not only are they creating the false lifestyle that they're living, they're now financing that lifestyle, Andrew, at over 17% interest. So now you can see how quickly your overall retirement situation can start spiraling out of control when you're in that particular situation.
So Carson, I really think that was an important thing to point out. And the last thing that I have highlighted on here is the more that you have, the more that you have to keep.
Yeah.
So what about that?
Yes, Andrew, that's a big one there, and I'm glad you highlighted that one for your final points that you wanted to have me to discuss today. Yeah, a lot of times when we're talking about this aspect of keeping up with the Joneses, I see this in a lot of athletes and people who come into a big inheritance in their life really too quickly. So when you come into a lot of money, the first thing, and especially if you're not used to money, the first thing you want to do is go out and buy things. You buy not just one house, you buy 2 houses. You buy the vacation homes. You buy a home for your mom or your best friend. You buy 7, 8, 9, 10 cars. And the thing about doing that, Andrea, is that those things don't go away. You still have to maintenance and upkeep those type of assets. So, you bought a house, even if you bought it with cash, you still have to maintenance that home. And what happens is once that punch bowl has been removed from a lot of those individuals' lives, they didn't realize just how costly it was to upkeep and maintain those major assets. And what ends up happening is that they end up having repossessions, they end up going into foreclosures, they end up actually filing for bankruptcy, and a lot of times that even ends up in divorce, which can even be more expensive. So I can tell you that when you try to do these things and keep up with the Joneses and start accumulating all these things in your life, it can certainly ruin everything that you have worked for. So be careful about this, guys. I hope that this information was really insightful to you. And anytime you're starting to look at what your neighbor, friends, or family may be getting, do not envy that situation. Just keep in mind, a lot of times perception is certainly not reality. I hope that this information really was beneficial to those who are actually watching it about the dangers of trying to keep up with the Joneses. Please remember that these videos are created for educational purposes only, and that you should always consult with your own financial advisor, tax advisor, and attorney regarding your own personal situation. If you are looking for a fiduciary advisor to help you with these complex financial matters, we encourage you to simply click on the link provided in our description below and learn how to become one of our high-value clients. For more information on this subject matter or any of the topics that we've discussed in our prior videos, feel free to reach out to our office or leave any questions and comments in the section below.
To learn more about our services and how we can help you to increase your chances of not outliving your retirement savings, make sure to click on the link in the description below and sign up for our free Maximizing Your Retirement Income Masterclass. After this video, please check out our other videos that we've created that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers.